We're still talking about issues coming up at the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and now the Nasdaq and the Nigerian Stock Exchange recently announced that the NSE, which services the largest economy in Africa, will acquire Nasdaq's smart market surveillance platform to power the compliance program. So why Nasdaq's smart market surveillance? Let's talk to Tunu Awe. She's the head of legal and regulation at the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Good morning to you, ma'am, and thank you for coming on the show.
Good morning, Harriet.
So let's understand, why are we introducing, or why is the Nigerian Stock Exchange introducing the Nasdaq Smart Market Surveillance?
Well, we think that market integrity is very, very important, and what the surveillance system will help us to do when we implement it is to ensure that we have better surveillance of our market. It's to ensure that we have better insight into the trends in our market, and when you have better insight into the trends, you can tell when something is off color or when something is abusive in a better fashion. And it's automated. We already do that, but we want to be able to do it in a systematic and more automated fashion. So it's really all about market integrity, which we eventually hope will drive liquidity, because when people believe that a market has integrity, one of the things that they worry about, you know, whether anybody is gaming the market and whether the market is fair and orderly, you deal with that upfront when they know that there's integrity.
So does the information come in real time?
Yes, real-time surveillance of the market. Okay.
So does this now also put to rest, or does this overshadow the whistleblowing that I know the Nigerian Stock Exchange has, tried to introduce into the market?
No, all these things that we're introducing are complementary, and they're very, very, we're very, very strategic and decisive about the way that we're doing it. So we introduce whistleblowing because it's a source of information. What the surveillance system does is that it pulls information from various sources. You know, our whistleblowing portal, which is X-Whistle, is connected to us through the internet. So what the surveillance system will do when it eventually comes is to be able to take information from different aspects, from different areas, and funnel that information to the folks in surveillance so that they have a better view of the market and they have more information to do their job. So it's all complementary.
So tell us a little more about these issues in abusive trading that has been happening at the exchange, and what your department has done with regards addressing it.
Okay, so first of all, I wouldn't say that abusive trading has been happening at the exchange. I think in every market you have outliers who try to game the market or who try to do things in the market, and what you have to do is to be prepared to deal with them. So what the market surveillance system will do is that it helps the folks in surveillance to be able to understand the market well, to be able to pull information from various sources, and to be able to know that the way that the market works, in the sense that they can say, this is what, given all the information that is out there, this is the way we expect participants in this market to act. Now, if somebody is acting outside of that, it raises a piece of information for us to look at and then go after that piece of information. So to have that type of sophisticated system that helps you to track the market properly, helps you to be able to bring cases where it's a case of somebody gaming the market, or helps you to be able to know that particular activity may look weird, but given all the information that we know why that particular activity is happening. So it helps you to also decide whether something is a red herring and you don't need to go after it, or whether something is strange and you do need to do a little bit more to investigate it.
So who benefits from this? The exchange, or the investor, or the capital market operator?
Everybody benefits from it. The capital market operator doesn't want to be in a market, operating in a market where other people are gaming the system, and he's for the capital market operator following the rules of the exchange and doing everything, but somebody else is able to game those rules and do the same thing as he's doing, get the same results for less effort. The investor doesn't want to be gamed. They want to know that when they're putting their money in the market, they're putting their money in a market that is watched, they're putting their money in a market that has integrity, and that people who are operators in that market and are not following the rules are quickly caught and dealt with, so that those who want to do things fairly and orderly and in a legal manner are doing them. It benefits the entire capital market, because the Nigerian capital market, as far as it is run by the exchange, is looked at as a market that has integrity and has the proper tools to police the market in an appropriate fashion. So it's a win-win for everyone.
So you're expecting that it will impact positively on the cost
Most certainly.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that if anyone is found to, be gaming the markets, they'll be dealt with.
Yes.
So punishments will be meted out. What kind of punishments? Removal from the exchange or total banning from trading in any exchange anywhere in the world?
So remember that the exchange, we run a market, and the ambit of our regulatory power is within the exchange itself. We have a regulator, which is the apex regulator of the Nigerian capital market, the Securities and Exchange Commission. Now, there are a number of things that we're authorized to do under the powers that we have under our license. We can suspend capital market operators from trading. In egregious situations, we can expel them. We can take the license back and expel them from the membership of the exchange. We can certainly report them to the Securities and Exchange Commission, so that if the Securities and Exchange Commission wants to deregister them from the market for engaging in that activity, which we have proven that they've engaged in, it can do so. We also, as you know, have an MOU with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, and we have used that MOU to our advantage and the advantage of the market, and we'll continue to use it as we find activity that is unwholesome, and especially in the case where it is also criminal. Work with the EFCC as well as other law enforcement agencies to ensure that there is appropriate prosecution.
Of course, this only can become successful if there's a training of departments to ensure that they know what this surveillance is supposed to be and what they're supposed to even be looking out for. So what's it going to be structured as? How quickly are we going to be seeing training of the legal and regulatory department, for instance, and also operators in the capital markets as well?
Okay, so the system is a piece of software. And what we're doing now is we've signed an agreement with Nasdaq to onboard the software, to implement the software. Once it's implemented, part of the engagement that we have with Nasdaq is training around the use of the software. Indeed, the whole process that we went through to buy the software was an education in itself for those of us that were involved in the purchasing and the request for proposals, going through all the, as many of the entities that are reputable in the world that sell systems like this, and eventually selecting Nasdaq because we felt that they were the best that we could collaborate with to implement. So it's an ongoing training program. Also, we belong to an organization called the Intermarket Surveillance Group. It's an international organization of market venues, that's exchanges, OTCs, as well as government regulators. And we have gained a lot from our membership of that organization. We've gained a lot from our membership of that organization as well. So we see training as something that is very important for those in surveillance, and it's ongoing.
Thank you so much, Tinu, for coming on the program this morning and shedding more light on that.
Thank you.